Hey everybody, Basket here. Welcome back to TIS-100, a programming game. So we just finished this one. That one was pretty tricky. This one SP has done, so it's 6 cells and not a whole lot of code, a whole lot of cycles. So we'll see what this is. Let's go ahead and hop in. Okay. So there's a couple of memory things. We got some ins and outs. Okay, so read values from A and B. Divide A by B. Write the quotient to Q and the remainder to R. Oh my goodness. Okay, great. That's exciting. Okay, I remember multiplying was a difficult one. So we have this. So A divided by B, we get 15 with a remainder of 2. Okay. Okay, so we could take this number and then keep on subtracting 3. Count how many times that worked, and that's this. And then find out what the difference was here. Okay. So we will want to probably have a counter. Oh, so here's another thing I was thinking of. Let's jump over to, where do we have those? One of these things has a thing. Let's try this one. Okay, I finally found it. So, I mean, this is the reduced one where I don't have the 0 option, which is fine. So this is a variable I can store stuff in. So right here I have where I'm moving stuff from the right in. But one thing I can actually do is I can say any in this case. So I know it's from the right, but if I want to generalize the code, I can do this where I will receive a value from here, and then when I output, it'll give me the last one. So I'm able to generalize this code. So if I copy and paste it, I don't have to keep on changing these lefts and rights and stuff. So let's change this back to last, or change it to last, and then run it, make sure it actually works. Okay, good. So I will copy this code and put it in our other program. Oop, I didn't want to go there. Let me get back in there. I'll copy that and bring it into our new program. Okay, so I think what I want to do is probably store B over here. It's not conveniently located, obviously. Because I have to get B across. But I guess either way, well, okay, fine. We'll put B over here. So we'll move up to the right. And then here we will take up, right, of course. Move up to the right. And then over here, we will then move left into our hand. So now at this point, we have 47 in our hand and 3 over here. So we want to have a counter somewhere that will count up. So I guess our back can be the counter. So what we want to do is, although our back will probably have to be, okay, so maybe we'll also have Q is here, I guess. So this is the number of times it went in. So this is essentially our counter. So we're going to have a loop at this point. And we're going to so the thing in our hand is 47, A. We're going to subtract the right. Oh, I guess we have to do move -1 right. Tell it I want the stuff. Subtract it. And then jump if our number is I guess, greater than 0, because in the case where it evenly goes in, the number could be 0. So that we're looking at the remainder right now. If the remainder is greater than 0, then we want to jump to add Q. So add Q is, oh man, that's stupid. To add to Q, interesting. I'll have to get Q. Okay, so we're going to change the way this one works. So this one is going to be, if the value I get is greater than 0. So okay, so if it's negative, I want the value. If the number is greater than 0, add. So then we're going to do, this guy should jump back to start. And then also we want an add, which is take the value that's in our hand, right? And then add 1. And then jump back to start, which we actually don't need because we're at the end. So if I send this guy a 1, he's going to increase the count by 1. So add Q is move 1 down. And then jump to loop. So if the number we got is greater than 0, then we increment the count. If that's not the case, that means that we that we're in the negative or 0. No, it just means we're negative. So then we need to actually add right back in. So we need to get right. So we add right back in, and that's now the remainder, I think. So we should take the remainder. So what's in our hand is the remainder, I think. And then we want to take what's in our hand and move it left, because we want to move it down. And then we're going to take whatever we get from the right, and move it down. We're going to take what we have above, move it down, and we're also going to ping. I start writing out ping. We're going to move -1 to the right. And then we get a value back. So move right down. So 2 values are coming down. Move up, down. Move up, right. Move left, down. We need to reset this count. So we store it. If it's 0, we will store that value. Okay, so so when we get to this is actually, I'm done with the output. So then I can move 0 down and then jump to the very top. So we'll do that. Then we'll add start up here. This might work. Let's find out. So I take the values. Do I need to reset this? No, because we're going to reset it here. Okay, run. Okay, so we got a 2. Interesting. So the 2 ended up in the wrong spot. Okay. So the 2 gets passed this way. Right. Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. The first value is actually... Where did that... Oh, there we go. The first value is the remainder. The second one's the quotient. Go. Oh, right. Okay. And then another dumb thing is that I passed down a 0, which reset it before this guy got a chance to get it. So what we want to do is get the value and then tell the guy to the right to reset your stuff. Go. They're both 2. How interesting. Oh. It's always 2. Okay. Fair enough, maybe. All right, so let's double check our logic for this. So we start out. We take the back value and we swap it in. Okay, so I think we need to do a save here. That's what's happening. Okay, we'll try that. Nope. Still getting a 2. So this never goes above a 2. Okay. I think I am sending down values to it. So, and when I get to the add part, so what's in my hand? Oh, okay. So I need to actually do a swap here because I need to add not the value they gave me, but I need to add the back. So swap, add, save. Okay, go. 15, 2, yes. This is promising. Very slow. and oh, okay. Why are you so unhappy? Actually, let's fast forward. Let's see what's failed. Sorry about all the noise. Okay, so what do we have here? So in the case where it's 0, it doesn't know how to handle it. Okay, good. So it ends up... All right, so something in here. So when it's 0, so it has a remainder of 2. Huh. Okay. So in the case where so if it's greater than, okay. So if it's greater than this, or there might be a different way I could do this, but also if it is 0, I want to add Q. So there might be a way I can restructure this to not have to have both commands, but I think that might do it. Yes. Let's see how this compares to SP. I think he did 6, if I recall. Okay, so I used one more node and way more code. I don't know how to do it with less nodes. Interesting. Oops. Let me get back in there. Okay, so can I do it with one less node? Potentially. If I adjust this and I move B here, because B, no, wait, I still need to somehow get the remainder in the right spot. But if, like I say, I move Q over here, I can send a signal to Q and it can just spit it right down here. So if I moved B here, it'd still kind of be in the way. Unless when I was done, I took the remainder, dropped it into B, and just told it to go down. I guess that could work. All right, let's Let's actually make a copy of this program so we don't screw it up, and then we will start editing it. Okay, so we need to swap some things around. So this one is pretty self-explanatory. So we're going to move this guy over. And then we want to move Q here. Oh, I guess having B way over there is not convenient. I guess we could have B here. I can hear my dog sleeping and snoring and growling when she's sleeping. It's kind of funny. Okay, so this guy is just going to be move up, down. We're going to move Q here, move B here, and then up, down, I guess. So we'll need to obviously change some code. So, so this is B, and it gets it right from the thing. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, this is an interesting idea. So, I want to swap the values, get the thing. If it's retrieve, I swap and then send the value back. If the value is going to be negative, no, I'm sorry. Yeah. So if the value is 0, let's say, then reset. Reset is, actually, I guess reset can be here. So this thing we want to jump back to start. Reset is the thing we do first up here, which is move up into my hand. So here we do a swap. I look at stuff. If I'm retrieving, I do a swap. I move the thing to the last spot, then I save. So I think this should work. So if I pass it a 0, it's going to grab a new value. If I pass it a oh, but where do we store? How does the remainder get there? Oh, that's right. B. Okay, yeah. So if I pass it a 0, it's going to get a new value here. If I pass it a negative number, it's going to give me B. If I pass it a positive, then I want to pass the value down. So we're going to do this. So here we will say pass is, so the thing in our hand, down. And then what? So right before we did that, we swapped. We got the thing. So then I want to swap back. So that what's in my hand is back to B. So this is sort of a, by passing it a whole number, I'm able to make it send stuff down. So that's the remainder. Okay, right. So now over here we have the start is move the upper value to the right is what it was saying. So that's the B part. We don't need that. So now we have move up into our hand. That's the big number. Then here is move -1 to the right here. Get B. So we're gonna subtract B. So we're taking A, subtracting B. If the number is greater than 0 or equal to 0, increment Q. Increment Q says move 1 down here and then jump back to the start. If it is not, so if it's negative, then we want to move -1 to the right, which is still B, which says give me the value. It sends me back, I add it back in. And I move this down. So I'm going to replace Q. What was the value before? Undo. What was this thing supposed to do? This was taking the remainder. Right, that's the remainder. So we need to take the remainder and actually pass it through here. So we need to pass this to the right. So we're giving it a positive number. Oh, except I guess if it's 0. Oh no, there's times where it's going to be 0. Oh no. Okay, well this thing, for its whole, do we need to do a reset? What does reset do? Oh, let's grab a new thing from the top. I guess that makes sense. Well, we only need to do that if we actually pass a different number through. Right? So if we pass 0 or a positive number, we want that number to just go through. Yeah, okay. Right, so I'm going to change this to say that our whole reset thing is just going to be pass. So we really just needed to go to pass. Start. So I think if the thing we get is negative, we give them the value. Otherwise, we take the thing they gave us and send it down. We swap back. And then we're going to go to reset. So now zeros or positive numbers will make the thing pass down a number and then grab a new thing off the top. I think that might work. Maybe. Okay. So over here, if it was negative, put B back in, and then send that value to the right, which will send it down. That's the remainder. Then we need to trigger down. Well, we need to send it 0. Q is add. So we pass it. What are we doing for down? Nothing. Oh, we're passing it a 1. Okay. 0, start. So I don't have code in here yet to say pass things down. Okay. Right? Yeah, it's just jumping for -1 is retrieve the value, send it up. This is a positive numbers. Okay, so if I pass it down a 0, I'm saying I want you to send your value down. I guess the other option is I could, no, that's not really going to work. Because there might be a race condition or something. Possibly I can, when this thing triggers, I can have it come over here and then tell it to look up. We'll see if we run out of space. But I guess we can do, there's a couple jumps we can do that with. Okay, so send 0 down. And then what? Go back to the start? Yes. Okay. So in here, we want to say if the value we got is, well, basically, if it's not less than 0 and it's not greater than 0, then it is 0. So if that's the case, move our value. Well, actually, we need to swap. So we need to, it's going to be here. So let's try to shorten some of this other stuff up so we have a little bit more room. If we need to get rid of the other comment, I think we might need to, maybe. No, I guess we do a swap. First thing it does a swap right away. So this is, the value is in my hand. I move my value down. Jumps back to start. First thing it does is it puts it back in here. Okay. Does this work? No, not at all. So Q never makes it. Interesting. I send 0 down. Comes in here. That's weird. Why is Well, okay, is the other thing right? No. Oh, eventually something made it down. Look at that. That's crazy. This isn't working right. Okay. Well, so I guess we'll step some stuff. So let's do the part where we think we have everything good is here. Once we add the right back in, at this point we think we're good. So go. Why is R ascending all the time? Okay. What triggers this to send it down? Right here. So if it gets a 0 or positive number, it sends something down. So what are we doing over here? We're sending -1 to get the value. -1 to get the value. We are moving this to the right, but I had a breakpoint there, so that never triggered. Oh. Because I put in any here, it's also receiving it from there. That's funny. This might fix it. Yeah, let's try that. Deadlock. Okay. Left. Interesting. This one is currently waiting on a value from the right. So it passed -1 to the right. Okay, let's add a breakpoint. So we will do this. So it got a -1. So it jumps down to retrieve, which says move. Oh, and last isn't set. Oh, okay. So I guess last only gets set if you used any. If you don't use any, it doesn't work. So, okay, very well. Try this again. And I think we probably don't need that breakpoint, but we'll try it. Okay, yeah. Get rid of this breakpoint. The more you know. So doing things, doing things, doing things. Okay, now we're at a breakpoint. So at this point, we have 2 as the remainder. And then we have 15 as the thing here. So let's see if it actually moves properly. So we're doing trying to watch a couple different things here. So then jump to, have I sent the value down? Jump to start. So it's moved on. Although I guess it did get through. Okay, it got through. I just wasn't paying attention. Okay. So take this breakpoint out, and we'll see if this works. That's not good. Is it gonna be? Is this number even higher? Okay, so it's not clearing out the queue at the end of the whole thing. So we need to, so if it's this, so add, that's just adding 1 each time. We need a way to clear this. So if the value is 0, which is, it gets here, but I'm using 0 to, okay, so we're gonna get rid of this. Because what we need to do is when we send this value down, we need to also clear out the value. See if that works. Yay! I'll be curious to find out how this compares to the number of lines of code as SPs. I've slimmed it down, I think, from my first version. So we'll let this thing load. Okay. So I still have more cycles. Same number of things and way more code. I'm really curious how he did it. Because there must be a really easier way. Much easier way. Anyway, that'll be the end of the episode. Hope you enjoyed watching. And I'll see you next time.